All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to go racing. The BRR playoffs begin now. Kyle Holden and Mark Nelson on the front row. Kevin Reed and Jeff Hinkle have the second row. Chris Stroop and AJ Godsey on the third row. Kyle Mundell, DJ the Iceman Kenner on the fourth row. Richie West and Zach Henson rounding out your top 10. Jared Heasley starts in 11th. Eric Stoy starts in 12th. Ray Hillhouse, newly engaged, starts in 13th. Brandon Springer in 14th. Gourmets starts in 15th. Mark Dantuma in 16th. Gerald Thanos Poole starts in 17th. And Donald Durant's rounding out an 18-car field here at Kansas. Thank you, Tanya. Jared Heasley says he'll be in the wall if you need him. We did see quite a few drivers struggling with the exit to turn 4 tonight. Things could get spicy. Hi, Kevin. My apologies if I am late responding to comments. I'm having to look at them off a phone tonight. Our software has gone wonky. And the drivers begin the roll off of pit road. They are ready to go racing. Everybody off, getting stacked up and ready to go. As always, Nicole, that's what she said. Creasel is in the race control booth, keeping these guys in line. She probably has the hardest job out here. No, it's more along the line of issues with Facebook, Kevin. Pace car leads him around. He'll drop in out of turn 4.
Green flag.
And green flag is out there, down and away. Kyle Holden quickly into the lead, but Mark Nelson trying to hold it. They're getting, whoa, off turn 2. Looked like Eric Stoy just about got into Zach Henson's left rear quarter panel. Henson, I think, is in the wall. A couple of cars looked like they were kissing the wall through 3 and 4. Richie West, one of the first down to the apron, trying to get an advantage. All over the track, things are getting exciting. Everybody knows the tail side by side. Some drivers starting to make their way forward. Jared Heasley starting to pick up some spots already, up into 9th, but Ray Hillhouse, man, that engagement has sped him up even more. He's already up 3 spots into the top 10. Kevin Reed just set the fastest lap so far. Chris Stroop also trying to make his way forward, currently in 5th. A lot of side-by-side racing, but Kyle Holden finally clears Mark Nelson. Kyle Mundell currently sitting in 6th place, right up by the wall. Kansas often is ran right out by the wall depending on the car and the setup. It is highline dominant, especially through turns 3 and 4. Oh, we've got one flying off track. Looks like caution is out. Kevin Reed is involved.
He's very, very difficult official this week, so make sure we're minding our P's and Q's.
And give us just a moment to fix an audio issue, then we'll take a look at the replay. Caution early on lap 4. Let's see what happened to Kevin Reed coming off turn 2. Looks like Kevin was already loose at this point. Let's see. Looks like there may have been contact between Kevin Reed and Jeff Hinkle. Another angle. Oh yeah, it looks like Jeff tried like crazy to keep it off of him, but just no way to avoid it. Kevin went for one heck of a wild ride. Did manage to get the car woed up. That was a big slide. Zach Henson did go to pit road. Kevin Reed did not. Kevin now back in 17th. Looks like Henson just went in for some repairs. We did note that it looked like he got the wall just a little bit earlier in the race. Mark Nelson stacks back up on the high side. He'll get another shot here at Kyle Holden. Chris Stroop and Jeff Hinkle on the second row. Kyle Mundell, Richie West on the third row. AJ Gonsi, Ray Hillhouse on the fourth. Jared Heasley, Eric Stoy rounding out your top 10. They will have a competition caution, lap number 37. Then, if it stays green, after that, they will have to have one fuel stop. Most of the drivers talking about 43 to 48 laps on a tank. Pace car is in. Holden fires, they are away, green flag back in the air. Richie West already on the move up 3 spots since the drop of the green. Now looking to take another one from Hinkle. Don't believe Jeff got any damage in that incident. Kyle Holden quickly clears Chris Stroop now into second. Mark Nelson back into third under attack from Kyle Mundell. And a big stack up behind 5th place Hinkle and 6th place Richie. AJ Godsey, Ray Hillhouse, Eric Stoy, and Jared Heasley all battling. Mark Dantuma, DJ Kenner lurking right behind. Brandon Springer and David Garman also back there. Garman trying to make a move up top. Heasley trying to make that high side work to get past Eric Stoy. Ray Hillhouse now up 5 spots into 8th. Kyle Mundell just set the fastest lap so far as he closes in on Mark Nelson. Got right to Mark's bumper down the back straightaway, now to the high side. Are they going to go 3 wide? They are. Mundell, a huge run. Oh, he just kisses the wall, but manages to maintain his momentum. And Chris Stroop has gotten by Kyle Holden to take the lead. Now Holden back in this battle for second. Looks like Jared Heasley had a problem coming out of turn 2. Taking a look as they cross the start-finish line. Heading down into turn 1 and 2. Heasley up top. Oh! Heasley got the wall. Had to try and keep it off Dan Tuma. He is bouncing all over the place. Heasley did say he was struggling here tonight. Obviously, that one is playing out. Meanwhile, Kyle Mundell again set the fastest lap. He is now taking second place from Kyle Holden, but there is a big dogfight just back behind Eric Stoy in 8th. As Mark Dantuma now in 9th, Brandon Springer in 10th, Hillhouse in 11th, Garman in 12th. DJ Kenner in 13th, Kevin Reed in 14th. All of them nose to tail, side by side. Positions changing every single lap. Heasley is now falling back into 18th, trying to keep himself in the playoffs here. Hey, good evening, Nicole. How are things in race control tonight? Eric Stoy has now made his way up to 9th, but Mark Dantuma slipped by everybody. Now up into 8th. AJ Godsey in 7th, trying to close the gap on Richie West in 6th. Richie up 3 spots. Still trying to find a way around Hinkle. Mark Nelson currently sitting at 4th, right behind Kyle Holden, but man, Chris Stroop is on a mission, but Mundell is running him down. These two now have about a 1 1/4 second lead over the rest of the pack. Worth noting, these two practice together and are good friends, and it shows they are flying around here. Jeff Hinkle now in 4th, Richie West in 5th, but Richie's got a big run out of turn 2. Down into turn 3, Richie West may clear up into 4th. Richie has to get out of it as he washes up the track. Hinkle manages to pull back up. These two have been battling almost since the drop of the green flag. Mark Nelson, meanwhile, has really started to fade here early. Mark Curley running in 6th. And AJ Godsey and Mark Dantuma. Holy cow, Mark Dantuma is on a march to the front. Dantuma now up 9 spots. Mark did not qualify. He has just driven his way up through the field. As we mentioned in pre-race, Dantuma is back in the Chevy this week. Good for him, and it's obviously paying off. DJ Kenner has suddenly slipped back to about 16th. Heasley is starting to reel in cars ahead. In 17th, he has gotten past Donald Durant. Chris Stroop has started pulling away from Mundell again as Holden's starting to reel them both back in. Jeff Hinkle sitting back in 4th, Richie West in 5th, Mark Nelson in 6th, Mark Dantuma in 7th. AJ Godsey in 8th. Now David Garman has cracked into the top 10. He is in 9th. And Brandon Springer currently runs in 10th. Eric Stoy in 11th, battling with Ray Hillhouse in 12th. Stroop has managed to pull an 0.8 of a second lead now that Kyle Holden has gotten to 2nd. But Holden is starting to reel him in just a little bit. Mundell still holds on to 3rd for the moment, but Hinkle is the king of tire saving, and he comes alive late in the run. AJ Godsey has gotten to Mark Dantuma's bumper. And Dantuma's got a run out of turn 2. It is Mark versus Mark into turn 3. Still dead even down the front straightaway. Nelson pulls ahead just a little bit. Has the momentum advantage on the high side. Now Mark Nelson's going to look underneath Richie West. Try and reclaim one of his spots in the top 5. Nelson's got a big run. But Richie is dropping right back to the bottom. He is not done. Meanwhile, AJ Godsey and Mark Dantuma are battling. We're 10 laps away from a competition caution. These guys are racing like it's the last lap. Oh, Mark Dantuma gets the wall in turn 3. Meanwhile, AJ Godsey looking underneath Richie West, trying to take 6th. Kyle Mundell, who was up battling for the lead not long ago, has drifted back to 4th. Mark Nelson underneath, looking to take that spot. Oh! Looked like Mundell may have given the wall a little kiss there. Dantuma lost a little bit of momentum when we saw him get the wall a few moments ago, not letting it slow him down. Has closed back up on Richie West. Eric Stoy and Ray Hillhouse continue to battle. That is the battle for 10th. Eric not in the playoffs. Ray Hillhouse is. Gerald Poole has made his way up from the back into 14th. DJ Kenner has faded a bit in 15th. Heasley, after the incidents early on, has recovered up to 16th, sets his sights on Kenner. And Kevin Reed has fallen all the way back to 17th. Remember, he had the problems early. Brought out the first caution, dropped back to 18th, but has fought his way up to about 13th. Obviously problems here. Mark D'Antuma looks to the high side on Richie West. Mundell now back to 6th. D'Antuma looking to the high side. And now Mark Nelson has started moving forward again as he battles with Jeff Hinkle. It is really a shock to see anybody passing Jeff Hinkle on a long run. Mark still underneath. Hinkle has the momentum advantage up top. But Mark gets a good run out of 4, gets the nose ahead. He might be able to complete the pass in 1 and 2. Meanwhile, Kyle Holden has reclaimed the lead from Chris Stroop, now pulled out to a 6/10 of a second lead. Still a battle on for 3rd place. And look who has snuck his way into the top 5 and coming up to join the battle. AJ Godsey is here. Holy cow! AJ got a huge run out of turn 4 right to Hinkle's bumper. Chris Stroop has a little breathing room in 2nd. Nelson now on the attack for 3rd again. AJ kisses the wall in turn 3. And Mark D'Antuma not far behind. Mark currently running in 6th after starting in 16th. D'Antuma on the march with that Chevy power tonight. Ray Hillhouse has finally managed to get past Eric Stoy and moved his way now up into 8th. Gorman in 9th. Gorman way up by the wall as Hillhouse looks to the high side. Kyle Mundell continues to fade. And next time by, we will have a competition caution. The one driver that does not want to see that right now, Kyle Holden, as he has a 1 1/4 second lead now over Chris Stroop. And it is still battles everywhere on track. And man, we're going to have a wild one tonight. Caution is out. This is the comp caution. This will put the field back together again. Tanya, you want it spicy? I have a feeling it's going to get spicy on the restart. Kyle Holden had 6 wins in the regular season. Struggled here on fresh tires, but looks like he's got it figured out. He had drifted back as far back as 3rd, but has already charged his way back to the lead. What about the run, though, by Mark Dantuma, up 10 spots already? No, up 9 spots, excuse me. Ray Hillhouse managed to get by right before the caution and take 6th. Here they come down pit road. Kyle Holden, the first to hit his stall. With that first stall, he'll be able to get off pit road quickly. Kevin Reed, the last one to hit his pit box. He's got a lot of fighting to do before this is over. And Holden makes it off and will maintain the lead. And we're going to try and get a word with Mark Dantuma. Hey, Mark, it's Doug. You got me?
I got you, buddy. What's up?
Hey, I noticed you were back in the Chevy, and, man, you're charging through this field.
Yeah, I'm a little bit scared because I don't know if I've ever felt this much horsepower under my right foot.
I doubt you have, but obviously it's paying off, and obviously the right choice for the playoffs.
Yeah, my little trying to change up my luck didn't work, so I figured I'd go back to the Bowtie Brigade and see if that could bring me a little luck.
It's obviously paying off. Man, that was truly an impressive run. Starting in 16th, running as high as 6th tonight. Do you have enough left to get up there and get the win tonight?
The farther you get forward, the faster these guys are for some reason. I haven't figured that one out yet. So.
Well, good luck, buddy. Time to get ready to go racing.
All right, thanks, Doug.
Mark Dantuma currently being scored in 7th place as they stack back up. Kyle Holden and Chris Stroop on the front row. Mark Nelson, Jeff Hinkle on the 2nd row. AJ Godsey, Ray Hillhouse on the 3rd row. David Garman, Mark Dantuma, Eric Stoy, and Kyle Mundell round out the top 10. All right, folks, you've seen the first third of this race. Anybody want to make a prediction for the winner tonight? Pace car is in. Kyle Holden into the zone, fires, green flag back in the air. Holden gets another great jump, and Mark Nelson able to capitalize, slides into 2nd. Stroop down to 3rd, but AJ Godsey on the bottom makes his way to 5th. And what about Hillhouse, who's back on the march? Ray Curley in 6th with Mark Dantuma in 7th. Eric Stoy, Gourmets battling it out back behind. Richie West battling with Mundell to get back in the top 10. Looked like Richie may have had a little bobble there. Whoa, Chris Stroop is loose. A lot of cars got loose out of 2 that time. Hinkle managing to slip by and take 3rd. Mark Dantuma, meanwhile, on the high side, moves up into 6th. Man, they are kicking the dust up by the wall. And you know what? While they're all packed up together, what do you say we have a little bit of fun? Kevin, turn down your earbuds, buddy. It's time to crank it up. Turn up your volume, folks. Kyle Holden continues to lead, man. That is the most fun you can have when broadcasting. That is awesome. Ray Hillhouse currently sits in 5th. Hillhouse sits in 8th. Eric Stoy in 7th, and Gorman battling with both. Hillhouse losing a couple of spots, and it looks like Mundell may be back on the attack. Meanwhile, the top 6 cars are still all fighting here. Mark Dantuma still right on AJ's back bumper. Eric Stoy currently in 7th, trying to lead that pack back up to the lead pack. But it is battles all over the track. Now Jeff Hinkle up top goes to 2nd place and sets his sights on the lead. Hinkle down to the bottom. Is he going to take the lead here? Holden uses the momentum on the high side out of 4 and holds on to it. Mark Dantuma now looks up on the high side on AJ. Does he have the run? As we mentioned pre-race, this is a highline dominated track. One of those few tracks where getting up to that high side you can make, holy cow, Mark got the wall. Managed to save it, but again lost some momentum. Interesting note, both Marks have had problems out of turn 4 tonight. Mark Nelson was saying that wall should not be there in practice. David Gorman has now moved up into 7th place. Gorman has gotten by Eric Stoy. Kyle Mundell now back up into 9th. Ray Hillhouse now back up in the top 10. Richie West in 11th. Jared Heasley in 12th. DJ Kenner back on the move as well. DJ now back up into 12th place. He started in 8th but faded way back in that first run. Now he seems to have found his rhythm, coming by Richie West on the high side. Kevin Reed, involved in that first caution, has been trying to fight his way back up, as same with Jared Heasley, who lost the back end and slid, had a lot of problems in that first run, starting to fight his way back up. Jared now in 14th, Kevin in 15th. Zach Henson and Donald Durant still holding on, trying to make their way up through the field, and Jeff Hinkle has finally gone to the lead. Kyle Holden now back to 2nd, Chris Stroop in 3rd, and Dan Tuma up to 4th. He is on a mission. He did say he has not felt this much power before because he usually drives a Ford. Great to see him back in the bow tie tonight, and it's obviously paying off. He's starting to look at Chris Stroop. Kyle Holden still all over Jeff Hinkle's back bumper, but man, if he's thinking he can wear Hinkle down, he has got another thing coming. Holden tried to look to the inside through 3, couldn't get there. Chris Stroop still sitting in 3rd. Dan Tuma trying to run him down. AJ Godsey in 5th. Mark Nelson in 6th. Interesting note, the top 6 drivers on track right now are also the top 6 drivers in the points coming into tonight. They're not in the correct order at the moment, but it is a little bit different to see that. Jeff Hinkle came in tonight 4th in points, currently leading the race. Kyle Holden came in tonight leading the points, currently 2nd. Chris Stroop was 3rd in points, runs 3rd at the moment. Mark Dantuma 5th in points, currently running in 4th. Albie, are you serious, buddy? Albie Ewan's not in the race, was 11th in points. I do suspect foul play as the telephone pole near his house was knocked out, keeping him out of the race. If I had to guess, it was either Mundell, Kevin Reed, or Ray Hillhouse. Those are your closest competitors. Albie, you'll just need to go win at Richmond next week, buddy. If we get a chance, Albie will do a quick interview with some of these drivers and find out if they sabotaged you. David Garman now up into 7th place, and we've got a car fading quickly, trying to see if maybe DJ Kenner having problems again. And we ask that everybody tune in tomorrow night, 8:30 Eastern, for the Jones BS Racing League. There is a special family-related thing to discuss early on in the pre-race. So we'd love to have everybody and love to have you guys come support the Jones BS Racing League and that family. They could definitely use some love right now. Chris Stroop in third has started closing it back in on the top two. Dan Tuma just 0.6 of a second back. Just past the halfway point, and the guys up front still getting a little bit racy. Oh, Garmin's in the wall. David Garmin is stuck on the wall. And it looks like Garmin may have towed to pit road. His night may be over. Jared Heasley has also had a problem. There's Heasley going down the back straightaway towards turn 3. Oh, Heasley lost connection. Kyle Holden now on the high side goes back on the attack, trying to take the lead. Can Hinkle hold him off on the bottom is the question. The outside line, we've talked about it all night. It is dominant around this track. It has the momentum off the turns. Drivers were all on pit road, lap 38. The drivers set anywhere from 43 to 48 laps on a tank of fuel. So in 10 to 15 laps, we will start to see green flag pit stops. And I can tell you from personal experience, this pit road entry can make or break your race. I do know a few of the drivers were actually practicing pit stops and pit road entry just to make sure they nailed it. Mark Dantuma in fourth, continuing to close in on Stroop. He's got a huge run. Mark Dantuma has yet to win this season, but with the charge he has had tonight, could tonight be the night? Oh, AJ and Mark Nelson looked like they were going to try and make it 3 wide through 1 and 2. All three of these cars have a ton of speed tonight. AJ looks low. Does not have enough momentum out of turn 4. Kyle Mundell has started to fade again. This is a big shock for Mundell. Kyle has been on a big charge in recent weeks. But now he's about to lose 11th to Richie West. Richie down to the bottom. Meanwhile, Heasley underneath Eric Stoy. Heasley now up to 9th. AJ Gonsi finally has gotten by Mark Dantuma. Mark losing a little bit more ground. He drops back to 6th as Mark Nelson got by. Ray Hillhouse now up into 7th place. He came in tonight 12th in points. Currently one of the drivers that would be eliminated after Richmond last week. He said he just needs a good top 5 finish coming out of this race. DJ the Iceman Kenner now back up to 8th place. And gaining on all the cars ahead. DJ coming alive. Chris Stroop now on the high side looking to take 2nd place from Hinkle. AJ Godsey lurking right behind. Mark Nelson, Mark Dantuma losing touch. AJ now up on the high side, right up by the wall, and he gets a big run out of turn 2, clears Jeff Hinkle. AJ has always said he is not a fan of these 1.5-mile tracks. He prefers short track racing. But he did say he was struggling here tonight, so could that mean AJ goes to victory lane? Richie West has gotten past Eric Stoy, trying to make his way back into the top 10. Stoy fights back on the high side. Zach Henson lurking right behind. Ray Hillhouse in 7th, now closing in on Mark Dantuma in 6th. Mark Nelson currently in 5th, closing in on Hinkle in 4th. AJ Godsey in 3rd, now reeling in Chris Stroop in 2nd. And Kyle Holden has been unable to run away so far, but we are within the fuel window for all these drivers. Pit stops could be a hugely deciding factor, as we talked about. This track is known for pit stops ending a good run. We know Kyle Holden will stretch the tires and fuel as long as possible. Who's going to be the first to hit pit road and try and take advantage of fresh tires? The fall off so far has been decent, but not terrible. Holden's fastest lap of 31:15, last time by at 32.32. Losing just over a second. Holy cow! Chris Stroop had to get out of the throttle big time through 3 and 4. Kyle Holden and AJ Godsey just fly by. That little bitty mistake allowed Jeff Hinkle and Mark Nelson to close in. But don't look now, Ray Hillhouse is reeling in everybody ahead of him. Richie West, the first to come to pit road. Brandon Springer also on pit road, hoping to take advantage of fresh tires to make up some ground. Holy cow, Ray Hillhouse, Mark Nelson, and Jeff Hinkle really going at it. DJ Kenner now on pit road. Eric Stoy is in. Richie West, Brandon Springer already on their way off pit road. How much longer will the leaders stay out? Mark Dantuma is in. Jared Heasley is in. Hinkle, Hillhouse, and Nelson 4th, 5th, and 6th at the moment. Top 6 continue to stay out. Does Zach Henson coming in? He is. Kyle Mundell stays out. Kevin Reed also staying out. Mark Dantuma is back out, rolling to the back straight. And all these guys on fresh tires are going to be over a second a lap faster. AJ is on pit road. Ray Hillhouse has cleared Hinkle and Nelson with AJ hitting pit road. He is now in 3rd. Kyle Holden and Jeff Hinkle are in. Chris Troop now has the lead. Expect the rest of the field to be in next time. Hillhouse has been on the march on this long green flag run. Now into 2nd. Here he comes. Mark Nelson also on pit road for the final time. Chris Troops continues to stay out, as does Kyle Mundell. Donald Durant still staying out on track. Kyle Holden on his way back out. AJ Godsey having completed his pit stop a lap earlier, not far behind, but has Dan Tuma right there. Stroop is in. Mundell is in. Oh, Donald Durant's has got the wall. Donald Durant is headed to pit road. He will complete the cycle. And Kyle Holden will be back in the lead. AJ Godsey will now be in 2nd, and Dan Tuma now up to 3rd. Chris Stroop rolls off pit road, currently scored in 4th, but he's about to be passed by Jeff Hinkle, Richie West, Ray Hillhouse, Jared Heasley. Wow, quite a crowd. Richie currently running in 6th. Hillhouse coming by on the bottom to take 5th. And Heasley trying to make a lane up top. Are they going to go 3 wide? Richie shuts the door on Heasley for the moment. Richie now trying to get back to the bottom underneath Hillhouse. That's the battle for 5th. And it's about a 6-car battle, but Hillhouse holds them off. Mark Dantuma to the high side on AJ. He's going for 2nd. What a run by Mark Dantuma tonight. Dantuma did not qualify, started back in 16th, and has just charged through the field all night long. Does he have enough power left to reel in one more car? Jeff Hinkle currently sitting in 4th. Ray Hillhouse in 5th. Jared Heasley in 6th. Richie West in 7th. Eric Stoy, Mark Nelson, Chris Stroop battling for 8th, 9th, and 10th. DJ Kenner lurking right behind in 11th. Zach Henson currently in 12th. Gerald Poole also out of the race. I saw he had dropped out earlier, but not sure why. David Garman also out of the race. Kevin Reed a lap down, as is Mundell. Mark Dantuma in 2nd, now 1.5 seconds behind Kyle Holden. 21 laps to go. Richie West, Chris Stroop still battling for 8th place. Mark Nelson now up into 7th. Heasley has made his way into 6th and trying to run down Hillhouse. Dantuma starting to find a little more speed and reel in Holden. Jeff Hinkle now setting his sights on 3rd place. AJ Godsey. Ray Hillhouse still holding on to 5th. Heasley in 6th, under attack from Stroop and Nelson. Eric Stoy and Richie West still battle for 9th, with DJ Kenner right behind in 10th. Kyle Holden's lead now 1.8 seconds. Dantuma runs him down. Dantuma definitely faster through 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. Kyle Holden faster out of 3 and 4. Holden and Godsey both have fresher tires than Dantuma by just 2 or 3 laps, but that 2 or 3 laps is starting to show. Jeff Hinkle still lurking behind in 4th. Ray Hillhouse still holds on to 5th. Heasley, who had worked his way up to 6th, has now drifted back into 8th. Chris Stroop in 6th. Mark Nelson in 7th. Zach Henson now battling with Richie West. A little bit of a blink there, and now Zach into 10th. EJ gets the run on the bottom, moving Richie back into 12th. Meanwhile, AJ Godsey has gotten back past Mark Dantuma. AJ now 2.5 seconds behind leader Kyle Holden. Jeff Hinkle is starting to reel in the top three, as is Hillhouse. Meanwhile, Kyle Holden is extending his lead now 2.9 seconds over AJ. Jeff Hinkle, the king of tire saving, starting to come alive here. Gets a big run into three, and Dan Tuma may have kissed the wall there. Jeff Hinkle now to third. AJ in second, but now 3 seconds behind our leader. 10 laps to go. Kyle Holden had 6 wins in the regular season, looking to win the first race of the playoffs here tonight. The one person that might be able to run him down is battling for second place right now. Jeff Hinkle looks low on AJ. Ray Hillhouse has now made his way up into fourth place, moving Dan Tuma back to fifth. Hillhouse definitely doing what he needs to do for the championship here tonight. Knowing that after next week at Richmond, he has to be in the top 8. AJ is is still with Jeff Hinkle. Hinkle slowly chopping away at Kyle Holden's lead, but with only 7 laps to go, will he have enough time? Jeff Hinkle 3.4 seconds back from Holden. AJ still with him. And Ray Hillhouse has caught him. Ray Hillhouse has 1 lap fresher tires, but that appears to be enough tonight. Hillhouse now to the bottom under AJ Godsey. That is for third. Can't quite get the run. Meanwhile, Mark Nelson and Chris Stroop battle for 6th. Both drivers in the playoffs and need every point they can get. Kevin, maybe you could do something to slow Kyle down a little. Let some air out of his tires. Four laps to go for Kyle Holden. He has a 3.5 second lead over Jeff Hinkle. Ray Hillhouse, AJ Godsey still battling for third. Mark Dantuma holding on to 5th while Stroop and Nelson battle behind. Jared Easley currently running in 8th. Eric Stoy in 9th. DJ Kenner in 10th. Zach Henson sits in 11th. Richie West in 12th. Brandon Springer in 13th. Ray Hillhouse has the nose ahead. Out of 2, he clears barely. Ray Hillhouse now to 3rd. AJ back to the bottom though. And they get close. Coming out of 4, but Hillhouse has the momentum. And congratulations to Ray and Katie on their engagement. Kyle Holden leads him down the back straightaway. Lap traffic will come into play. White flag is in the air one more time around for Kyle Holden. Down the pack straightaway, easily clears Kevin Reed. And out of turn 4, Kyle Holden wins the first race of the playoffs. Jeff Hinkle comes home in 2nd, and Ray Hillhouse manages that 3rd podium spot. What a run for him. AJ Godsey comes home 4th, Mark Nelson 5th, and one of the biggest runs of the night, Mark Dantuma finishes 6th. And let's talk to our top 3. Starting with Ray Hillhouse. Ray, that was quite a run up to 3rd, buddy.
Yeah, man, I'm super happy with that run. Racing against one of the best right there, AJ, to get 3rd. I think I could have got Jeff. I would have got past him faster, but really happy with that run.
I can imagine a big points night going into next week, knowing that the elimination is coming into play. That's going to be a huge help.
Yeah, definitely makes Richmond a little less stressful. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. Congrats to Kyle, another win. He's certainly dominant. It's a lot of fun.
Well, great job and congratulations on your engagement, man.
Hey, appreciate it.
Ray Hillhouse comes home in 3rd. Hinkle finishes 2nd. Jeff, I really thought when you got to 2nd, you might have something to run Kyle down.
Oh, I don't know. He's always really fast. I think he was toying with us there at the beginning when I was able to run with him, so I think he kicked it in after that last pit stop.
Well, you still put on one heck of a show, man. That was a good run, and obviously, as always, we saw you really come alive the second half of that final run.
Yeah, it was good. That outside was really working well, but it wouldn't work the entire run. So luckily, that last run was short, so I was able to run the outside. So it worked out.
Well, it did work out great, man. Congratulations. You continue on in the playoffs. Obviously, a big points night as well.
All right. Thanks a lot, Doug. Appreciate it.
And finally, our winner, the 7th win of the season, the first win of the playoffs. Kyle, seventh total win of the season, winning the first playoff race. You got to be happy.
Oh yeah, it's feeling pretty good, especially moving over to the Chevy Camaro here. We're feeling pretty good tonight.
It definitely, the Chevys definitely were dominant tonight, but man, Jeff just said he thought you were toying with him the first part of that last run.
Oh, I was just trying to save tires. I knew that if you stayed on the bottom, you wouldn't burn up the right front as quickly, so I just tried to stay there as long as I could, and then as soon as I saw a lot of guys using the top trying to get by, I decided to move up there and just kind of get around everyone.
Well, it definitely got the job done. Another win. A great way to start the playoffs, man. Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
And thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope you had as much fun as we did. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow night, 8:30 Eastern. Jones BS Racing is back, and a big night for them, a very important night for them as well. You guys definitely show up, help support them. They would all really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Have a great night, everybody.